Welcome back, my friends, to more Disco Elysium. In the last episode, I was interrogating this deserter here. My God, had he a story to tell. Let me take a look at everything I have here. So I got a bunch of points. Doesn't look like I have any new items. In terms of tasks, I have find all armor pieces, which again, I think I missed out on, unfortunately, and extract a confession from the deserter, which was what I'm going to be trying to do this episode. And then my thought cabinet is already filled up. I don't think there's anything new here for me. And I believe that he had a composure check for me. So let me see if I can get any composure clothes on. So right now I'm at -1 composure. So let me put this on. Let me see what else I got for composure. Got this jacket. The shoes. Anything else for composure? Anything else? Interfacing. So many items to check here. These pants will give me composure. That's nice. Okay. I think that is everything that I can wear. And then I had a -1, so let me make sure I'm not wearing anything that's taking away composure. Okay, looks like I already replaced it. So, very good. Let's get into the dialoguing here.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
We are at 72%. Let's assess his body language.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For a man who's spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild,
He is surprisingly okay.
indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
Animated? By what?
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system. Great leaps of emotion, from anger to grief, despair,
Wouldn't a foul temper be a byproduct of his life?
perhaps, but his seems more than that. The inner turmoil takes unexpected turns, as if forced on him in a way. In summary, you sense some underlying neurological disorder.
Dementia?
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile. Is it some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something? Not only the painkillers he's clearly on.
Mr. Droz, are you on some kind of psychoactive substance?
No. I won't be stuffed full of shit like the rest of this city.
He snaps out of this, staring through you.
You said you take painkillers.
The lieutenant follows your lead.
I take them to cope with pain. The people of this city use painkillers because they have pain. Untreated illnesses. Not enough money for a greedy doctor.
Are you sure about him being lucid? Maybe he's just affected by an extreme case of socialism. It's not a downer, rather an upper, judging by his snaps.
Are you on amphetamines?
Like some kind of decadent rock star.
He doesn't dignify it with more of an answer. How about Pyrrolidon?
I don't know what that is.
He shakes his head. Mr. Droz, are you okay? How is your memory?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
He waves his hand, chasing something that's not there.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course. Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled.
Okay, so there's nothing else for me to talk to him about. Nothing left to do but to place him under arrest. Josef Lilianovich Droz, You're under arrest for the murder of Ellis Hortenair.
Is what you plan to say. Before you can get past, you're under. The lieutenant interrupts you.
Officer, are we sure? We could maybe get more.
I wonder if... Is that a hint that I didn't do everything? One more thing, Mr. Droz.
The old man looks at his rifle in your hands, a little startled for some reason. You startle him. Maybe it was the silence. He quickly gathers himself. Still, what could he be afraid of?
Let me try a couple more dialogue options again. One more time, Mr. Droz. The Colonel. We need to talk about you killing him.
Petty bourgeois law. This is all you care about, right? The only thing in the world for you types.
A drop of blood in the saliva. That's right. Pile it all on him now. 3 should do it. Maybe 4.
So I've talked to him about the boots. I have the weapon. I talked to him about the ballistics. So, yeah, I talked to him about 3 things. Well, it says maybe 4, but there's nothing else to talk about. So, okay, let's back off for a moment. Tell me this.
You're lost, Dwat. You're lost.
Okay, now we're done. Let me place him under arrest.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
The old man's eyes fill with sudden, unexpected terror at the words.
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But...
Kim, he's afraid.
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He looks at the reeds, eyes submerged in growing terror.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
What do I want to do? Sometimes these red checks, you know, they go away if you try the other options, so let me try to hear something. Wait.
There it is again. To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. The reeds whisper, stalks rubbing against each other. But then, in the middle of it...
What?
Something completely different. It sounds like a bow, very slowly being drawn against the strings of a violin. A very small violin, made of reeds and rushes.
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat.
Shh! Kim, do you hear that?
What?
What are you talking about? Is this... really us?
The old man's voice drowns in a sudden gust of wind.
Your skin crawls.
What is going on? Oh my god! Is that the Insulindian Phasmid? Is that the Phasmid?
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
It is. It's the Insulindian Phasmid. It's huge. For whatever reason, I thought we were looking for something small because I was checking those traps, which are pretty small, but it's huge. What is that?
What are you talking about?
I don't know what the hell that is.
There's nothing there.
He looks confused.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
There is. I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Kim, can you see it?
I can see it.
4 simple words. Thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence, its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
The lieutenant whispers, then takes a step towards the giant arthropod. Whoa, super cool. All right, let me change my outfit here real quick. Let me kind of go back to what I was doing. I like those pants. Let me get my conceptualization stuff on. What does one wear when talking to an Insulindian Phasmid? I don't know. You know what? I think I'm gonna go for all the cool stuff. So my Man from Hamdall shirt. That'll be nice. And then I'm gonna do my piss jacket. Yeah, nice. We're looking fresh. And then in terms of hats, I haven't found any hats that I like, honestly, in this game. The fallen hat that I liked was... I gave it away, so... Let me put... maybe these glasses on. They're pretty cool. And then... yeah, I think that's good enough. Just trying to do a little bit of cosplaying, maybe. I don't know. Put on these boots to go into the reeds. Nice. All right, let's go in there.
You finally made it, haven't you? People point fingers at you and whisper to each other when you pass by, wondering to themselves, where did that man get such a cool jacket? Did he receive it upon graduating the École Normale Supérieure de Badasserie? Is he dangerous?
Damn right I'm dangerous.
You are very dangerous, my friend. Dangerous and cool. In fact, no one dares to say a single thing about the jacket. But believe me, they are all very impressed.
Let me double check with this guy before I talk to the Phasmid.
What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
It's right there. Can you see it?
No.
He doesn't finish the sentence. One letter is all he can produce. His hands are numb and he stares at them.
Nothing. Nothing is what he tried to say. There is nothing. Only the reeds for him. The reeds and devastation.
I'll leave you be for now. It is time to confront the Phasmid.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from his head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. The segmented antennae move with apprehension, searching for something that's not there. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks. The hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch.
Going to listen carefully. This is the Insulindian Phasmid.
It is.
The lieutenant whispers behind you. You hear the familiar ring of his jacket unzipping, slowly, painstakingly so.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open, extremely carefully. It's the camera.
Are you sure you won't scare it off?
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
He continues to pull the lens open.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the Phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear.
Stop, let me approach it first.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a picture.
He can stop fiddling with the camera, but does not put it down.
You see the Phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Who cares what they think, Kim?
Understood. Of course.
He comes to abruptly.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly.
Say something to it quietly. Something like, "Hey."
The creature tilts its tiny head to the side and appears to look at you. It is incredibly light, like the slightest gust of wind should blow it away. But it doesn't. There is a sadness in there. Or is it in you? From the dream. It's still with you. The pitiful "hey" you told her. Even now.
So let me approach carefully. 97%.
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the Phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. Sweat drips from your brow, soaking your chest. You reek of it, your chemicals. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Stand on your tiptoes and look more closely.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming, slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish.
You know what? I think I want to come in here real quick. And I think I'm totally going to max out my Inland Empire. Hunches, gut feelings, dreams, and waking life. This is kind of what I modeled my character around. And I feel like we're getting close to the end of the game. I have all these extra points. I might as well start putting them into something. So let me, like, make my cop absolutely insane. There you go. And that still leaves me 2 points to play around with if I need to at some point. So we're at 12 Inland Empire. It's insane. Let's keep going.
The faintest smell, like you've never felt before. Like burnt roses.
Kim, it's foaming.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The lieutenant watches you apprehensively.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst, one by one, letting out that same smell, like summer burning.
Oh my god, look at that. Right afterward, there was an Inland Empire check. It's a white check. So, let me raise my hand slowly.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence.
Going to put my hand down.
The invertebrate comes back to life, stridulating. Sets of complex eyes follow you, moving in tandem on either side of the insect's small head.
So I will try this out. Tell me, what are you doing?
I exist.
I wonder if you can talk to it if you don't have Inland Empire like I do. That was totally just a gut feeling that I had to max out my Inland Empire while talking to this thing. Because it kind of matches my character persona that I went for, number 1, and then number 2. It just makes sense that if you have a lot of Inland Empire, you could talk to a mythical creature, I guess. I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
Fire, burning,
Fire? Where?
inside.
I do not have fire inside me. In me, there is not even blood, but lymph, like sap from a one palm. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness, being intruded upon, transient, dim, moist,
Intruded upon? By what?
shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. A swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms, all speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and if I did, it would never burn.
I'm glad to be me, an incredibly sensitive instrument.
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass. Eternal damnation. Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
It was very disorienting at first, but I'm keeping my shit together.
That must be incredibly hard. The Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you. And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
Detective. Arriving.
Interesting. Just one word each here. I am a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
I was born to detect you.
Yes. No one detected me for such a long time. For thousands of years. I dithered, out of sight. Trapped myself in greenery.
This is my masterpiece.
No one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came, detective. Dripping off blood that smells like strawberries. Across the calm sea. The first in 1,000 years.
Is this a dream? What is happening?
No, you're awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
Where does this come from? All this, around us, the world.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
Then all we can do is beat our fists against this day after day with no answer?
You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
Wait, so
So you look like a reed, and you eat reeds.
Yes, they don't mind.
Have you accidentally eaten another reed, Phasmid?
Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident.
What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Insulindian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys. I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain, also by the soldiers of the revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Samanese islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Reverchol, district of Martinez, March 51.
That's insane.
No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, Well, it is you who are total extreme madness. A volatile simian nerve system ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
Wait, the Pale is human-made?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
How?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Worse how?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if he misplaces us all one day, or just forget?
Have I always thought this way?
No, you're only thinking it now. This is a revelation.
This is the gloaming I've been waiting for ever since I woke up in the hotel room.
So, it is already happening. One day, one of you will close your eyes and sign, and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure?
It doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
Then I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
The lieutenant asks. Sort of.
I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts, that was all.
No, there is one more.
Of all the creatures I've met, you are the most beautiful.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you before you go. That woman. Turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Forever show.
What woman?
You cannot lie to me. Behind you, it smells of fires. So awfully far you were prepared to go in her presence. And it.
I can't.
She was hell on earth. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Okay, Kim. Take the picture.
Okay.
With a slow ring of metal, the lieutenant slides the lens open and raises it to eye level.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera. It remains fixated on you.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The Phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you. The sweat on your arms feels cold as ice, as if you're frozen as well, in the shadow of this great statue of chitinous marble.
It's a pretty cool picture. I like the yellows in here.
I got it.
You hear the lieutenant whisper as the creature shape develops onto the photo paper in his hand. A polychrome ghost of white streaks against the reeds and the sky, and you as a shadow before it.
Immortalized. For all time.
Slowly reach out and touch the creature's whisker.
The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral. like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. The sensation is electrifying, resounding through your body. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine. It's even a bit wet. Looks like someone's got hurt in a fight. This antennae is much smaller than the other one.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
And look at my finger.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen.
I'm absolutely going to lick my finger. Remember, my detective is completely off the rails with drugs and alcohol, so of course he's going to lick the residue of a mythical creature.
It tastes like sugar, very faint. The anthropod towers above you, tufts of reeds pointing from limb and head alike. Odorless, mostly comprised of water.
Carefully pet its scythe-like forearm.
The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a soft push could tip the creature over. Its hollow exoskeleton collapsing. Warning!
Let me run your hand up the slender limb higher.
A small shudder passes the creature's arm. High above you, its black pearl eyes still glisten, mesmerized by the light passing its nervous system. There is some kind of countdown happening as it slowly processes the overwhelming brightness of the signal. The invertebrate is regaining control. The stimulus overloaded it. It's passing like an extended moment or a gallstone.
We got it.
Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Disengage slowly.
As you're turning away, the Phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a collection of items.
It's gone.
The lieutenant looks north with his hand raised to his brow. It can walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
He shakes his head with amazement. What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
What now?
The old man behind you repeats suddenly. He's put his hand into the ash. It's dirty and black.
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
Okay, got a bunch of stuff here. So I got a... Oh, the Fairweather T500 helmet. I think that's part of the armor, right? Oh, that's nice, because I thought I was not going to be able to complete that task. And then this is the rifle scope. Okay, so maybe that's more evidence I can confront him with in order to get a confession.
Brother, you've managed to collect all the armor pieces. Too bad it's too late for the big showdown.
At least my collector's impulse has been satisfied.
Indeed, you found it all. Now your mortal coil is completely protected. Few cops are this futuristic.
At least now I am truly invincible. Okay, let me take a look at my new items here. This monstrous-looking bug-eyed ceramic helmet was in the Phasmid's nest. It still has some reeds sticking out of it, and it smells of seawater, but it's otherwise wearable, if not exactly comfortable. Putting it on feels scary somehow. So let me put on the full armor. So the helmet, the boots. I got the gloves on. Oh, no I don't. This is the gloves here. And then that one. Yeah, it looks very weird. I'll take it though. Then I got... Oh, I never inspected the rifle itself. The bolt-action 4.46 caliber Trigong is the poor man's sniper rifle. While not the most reliable of firearms, it is relatively precise due to a very manageable recoil, thus allowing the shooter to take multiple consecutive shots fast. Wow, that is a horrific spelling mistake right there. This particular piece is missing the scope though, which is right here. A common 30mm sniper scope attachable to almost any bolt-action 4.46 caliber. It uses an older style non-dotted range-finding reticle. Seaweed is stuck on the lens and it suffered water damage from its time in the Phasmid's dowry. Okay, very good. Let me look at the journal. So I need to inspect the Phasmid. I still need to check up on the deserter. And I still need to get a confession out of him. Okay. This is Classier's passport. Interesting. And it is evidence, so maybe I can use that to confront him as well. Looks like nothing else for me to interact with. This well-traveled passport with visa stamped on it is issued by the Republic of Oranje. You found it in the Phasmid's nest on the island. You can open it for more details.
This passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of Oranje, is issued to a black-haired woman called Katarzyna Alazie.
Classier's hidden documents. From the MT boy.
The lieutenant looks at it in your hands. Let me look at the photo.
It's Claudia, with short black hair and glasses. She looks boyish, younger somehow. An old photo, before life came and did what it does.
What was this doing in the Phasmid's nest?
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Classier's, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or...
Perhaps for some blackmailing plan.
Perhaps. But that still doesn't explain how it got into the nest.
The Phasmid took it, and I sensed it do so. I saw something open up the buoy with spindly legs.
Like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have collected the other objects, which would be highly unusual.
He looks around.
By now, the lieutenant has accepted your unusual methods.
I can see how the helmet could wash up on the island. And the scope. Maybe Mr. Dross lost it. But to seek this out would be very unusual behavior for an arthropod.
Would it? Maybe it was simply curious.
Perhaps it was curious, like an octopus.
An octopus belongs to a very different class. It's not even an insect, it's a mollusk. But yes, I see your point.
It says Katsarini Alanye.
She said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith. Anouk Meyer-Smith.
I butchered that pronunciation, by the way. Sorry about that.
Katarzyna Alazia was supposed to be her real name, where Claudia comes from. Remember? God damn it. I told you she kept lying to you. She's probably lying to someone else right now, in another city.
Katarzini Alazie was supposed to be her real name. She lied to us.
Yes, somehow she managed to lie to us one more time. In a way, she's still lying to us right now.
The lieutenant smiles. What's her real name then?
I don't know, but it's not Katarzyna Alazie or Classier or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective. Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what hell she'd be raising in my district by now.
The winds are silent. The streets are empty of her. She is no longer in the city of Revachol.
Let me put the passport away. Okay, so I am super curious as to what would have happened if I had arrested her. It seems like things might have shaped up very differently. I don't know. Alright, let me talk to him again.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
The old man looks around confused. Sir, how could you not see the Phasmid?
See.
He stares at the reeds and falls silent.
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets, his gap-toothed mouth shaking with fear and longing. like an addict of some terrible substance.
I'm gonna touch his shoulder gently.
The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that, no reaction. He feels small and frail.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The lieutenant inspects him gently.
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
What has happened to this man?
Old age and shock.
I think it's the Phasmid.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the Phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
There's much more. Remember what it said when it spoke.
He couldn't see it, Kim. It's just the reeds for him.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross,
He touches the man's shoulder.
No response.
Maybe this is how the Phasmid has stayed hidden all these years.
then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Yes, you forget it's there.
Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds?
The old man stutters.
The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
Before, when I evaluated his state, he seemed strangely animated.
He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse.
Perhaps this animation is induced by something in the Phasmid.
It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall.
He takes off his glasses and cleans them. When he puts them back on, he's still staring at the sea. I think he's addicted to that thing.
Like a drug?
He has displayed addictive behavior, and not just to painkillers.
His pupils appear to be dilated. They still are.
He examines the catatonic man's eyes.
It's not just chemical.
It's as if he's infatuated with it.
Some kind of oxytocin release mechanism? Would go with the pupils. But this is way above me, detective.
He's been here a long time. Who knows how much of it in its company.
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him. Like he didn't want to leave this place. And the insect, maybe.
He looks at his notebook.
I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
He shakes his head in disbelief.
No one would believe you without it.
We found some things in the Phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
I'm gonna tap on the helmet on my head.
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the Phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
Going to show him the Oranese passport.
No reaction. His breathing is slow, and he appears very old all of a sudden. Around 80.
Did you take this passport and other papers from a boy on the coast?
The spirit.
He blinks and continues to stare at the reeds.
He hears us. The spirit?
No reply. He's gone again.
Try something else? We got him back for a moment.
Going to show him the detached scope.
I lost.
He turns his eyes to it. You lost it, Mr. Dross.
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie Phasmid.
The lieutenant observes the lens sparkle in your hand.
This site is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh. You've gotten all you will out of this poor being.
I'm going to let you rest now, Mr. Dross.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal. The strength is all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
Hang tight.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
Okay. Anything I can interact with? Doesn't look like it. So, extract the confession. Still haven't been able to do that. He kind of shut down on me. And then the return, I used the boat to return to the mainland. So I'm assuming once I return, then I'll be able to get the extraction. Because I think how that's going to go. But either way, I think that is a good stopping point for this episode. Quite an exciting one. The Insulindian Phasmid. Can you believe it? I can't. I think it's a horrible idea to leave this guy here alone, unattended. That's not good. He could be faking all this. I don't know. I don't agree with it, but I think that's what we're going to have to do. We'll do so in the next episode. See you guys next time.
Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.